Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really fascinating topic: how artificial intelligence, or AI, is set to basically reshape the global hospitality industry by 2030.
That's right. We've gone through quite a bit of research on
Yeah,
this.
we really have. And we want to pull out the key insights for you on how these technologies, things like machine learning, where systems learn from data,
And natural language processing, which helps computers understand us.
and robotics too, actually, how all this is going to change our hotel stays, our travel experiences. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding the big shifts on the horizon.
Exactly. Our goal here is to pull out those really significant aha moments from the research. We'll be
Right.
looking at how AI is predicted to impact pretty much everything.
From the back of house stuff, the operations.
Yeah, keeping things running smoothly right through to creating these incredibly personalized guest experiences.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit, starting with operational efficiencies. Now, I know it might not sound like the most glamorous part,
Maybe not.
but it's actually where AI could make a huge difference. The research suggests AI can automate a lot of routine tasks,
Things like room service orders, laundry pickups.
even handling those common questions people ask the concierge. And the real win here, the research suggests, is freeing up hotel staff.
Right. So they can focus on the more complex, more, human interactions that really make a stay special.
That personal touch.
Exactly. And this automation, it's not just about saving time. It could also mean fewer mistakes, a more consistent service level overall.
Makes sense. If AI handles the repetitive stuff,
Yeah.
then the human staff can really focus their energy on, like, anticipating needs, solving trickier problems, more nuance.
Right. And it goes beyond just the guest-facing things, too. AI is also popping up in areas like predictive maintenance.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, imagine AI systems checking how hotel equipment is doing, heating, elevators, everything, and spotting potential issues before they actually break down.
So, fewer unexpected problems for guests. Exactly. And lower repair costs for the hotel. It's sort of like having a crystal ball for the building's health.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, these AI systems are also driving much smarter data-driven decisions, especially in areas like revenue management.
Setting room prices, essentially.
Right, and resource allocation, like figuring out staffing levels. By crunching all this data on demand, competitor prices, local events.
Hotels can really optimize how they run things, better profits, but also hopefully better guest experiences too.
Yeah, the two should go hand in hand if it's done right.
And speaking of optimizing, the research also points to AI helping manage perishable inventory. That's quite specific.
Yeah, like in the kitchens, bars, even the spa. Predicting demand better means less waste.
Which is good for the bottom line and, sustainability too.
Definitely. And it's even moving into back office stuff, like helping with HR planning or financial reporting, making those processes smoother.
So what does this actually look like? Any concrete examples?
Well, the sources mention things like AI-powered robots, maybe doing routine housekeeping tasks or delivering food to rooms.
Or basic concierge info?
Potentially, yeah, kind of like seamless background support.
Okay. Or how about those guest service apps that can spot a maintenance issue,
Right.
like a flickering light bulb or a dripping tap?
And automatically log a repair request.
Yeah. Before a guest even needs to complain. That kind of proactive fix, that feels like a real step up.
It really does. Okay, so that's operations. Now let's shift gears to something I think everyone gets excited about. Personalized guest experiences.
Ah, yes, this is where it gets really interesting for us as travelers, right?
Absolutely. This is where AI could create truly memorable stays. The idea is tailoring recommendations, services, everything to each individual guest.
So like having an AI virtual assistant that knows you?
Kind of. It could answer your questions about the hotel, sure, but also suggest local spots, maybe hidden gems, based on what it knows about your travel style or interests you've shared.
It's like a super smart, always-on concierge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just suggestions, is it? The AI recommendation systems can look at your past bookings
Your profile preferences, even feedback you left before.
to curate offers just for you.
Exactly. And the level of detail is fascinating. The research talks about sending personalized offers for the room or restaurant based on like what you bought last time.
So maybe you get an invite to a wine tasting because the system flagged you enjoyed a specific bottle previously.
Precisely that kind of thing. It sounds quite effective, too.
Yeah. How so?
Well, one stat we saw mentioned that 90% of people who got personalized service were more likely to make a purchase.
Wow, okay. That's a pretty strong signal.
It really is. And the tech behind it is getting clever. We're talking intelligent rooms that learn your preferred temperature,
Lighting, even what you like to watch.
all controllable by voice or an app. The room sort of adapts to you.
That sounds incredibly comfortable. And what about food and drink?
Similar idea. AI can offer personalized menu suggestions based on dietary needs, allergies, or just what you've ordered before.
So less menu guesswork.
Right. And there was this great example in the research. Hotel staff using AI insights to have better conversations with guests.
How does that work?
Imagine a server knowing you liked the grilled hake last time, so they might suggest, oh, you might also enjoy our seared tuna tonight. It has similar fresh flavors.
Ah, I see. That little bit of recognition, it makes a difference.
It really does. It feels genuinely personal, and it gets even more advanced. Some systems might use facial recognition for returning guests.
Really?
Yeah, to discreetly give staff the guest's name and maybe key preferences like allergies, even before they formally check in. That's next level service.
Wow. Okay. And there's a business case for all this personalization, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. It links directly to guest loyalty. The research suggests something like 86% of guests are happy to spend more for personalized service.
86%.
And nearly 80%, about 79%, would stay loyal to a brand that gets it right consistently.
Those are compelling numbers for any hotelier.
Definitely. And it's not just fuzzy feelings. Real-time web personalization apparently shows a median ROI of 15 to 30%.
And average sales increases around 6 to 10%.
So tangible benefits.
Okay. Let's talk about customer service more directly then. How's AI changing those interactions?
Well, AI chatbots and automated systems are becoming much more common, handling queries through call centers, websites, apps.
Giving instant answers about hotel stuff, amenities, bookings.
Exactly, often 204/7. And these aren't like the old clunky phone trees. Thanks to better natural language processing and machine learning, they can actually understand and respond pretty intelligently.
To a wider range of questions.
Yeah, and even perform tasks. The research highlights things like automatic check-in or check-out via text message.
That could be handy. Saves queuing at the desk.
For sure. Frees up the front desk staff, too. And chatbots might proactively suggest add-on services based on your booking.
We're also seeing AI used for guest recognition in restaurants, right? Greeting regulars by name, recalling preferences.
Yes, that ties back to personalization, and even dynamic menus adjusting based on preferences, dietary needs, maybe even what's actually available in the kitchen right now.
That's quite responsive.
It is. But it's really important to stress, and the research backs this up, AI isn't going to completely take over. The human element is still vital in hospitality.
Finding that balance.
Exactly. It's about AI handling maybe the routine stuff efficiently, leaving humans for the empathy, the complex problem solving, the genuine connection.
That makes sense. Okay, let's pivot to another big area, revenue management and pricing. Sounds a bit dry, but it affects what we all pay.
Ah, absolutely. AI algorithms are getting really good at analyzing huge amounts of data, market trends, what competitors are charging, demand patterns, local events.
All to suggest the best prices for rooms and services.
Pretty much. It goes way beyond just simple rules for setting rates. We're talking real-time, dynamic pricing.
Adjusting on the fly based on demand.
Exactly. The main goal for hotels is obviously to minimize empty rooms and maximize revenue. Fill those beds.
Now, data-driven pricing isn't totally new in hotels, is it?
No, it's been around. But the research suggests maybe a bit of hesitation in fully embracing AI for pricing outside of the big online travel agents, perhaps?
A bit wary of letting the algorithm take complete control.
Possibly. But that seems to be changing as the AI gets more sophisticated and proves its worth.
So what's the big advantage AI brings here?
It can spot really subtle patterns and trends that a human analyst might just miss. It juggles way more factors simultaneously.
Finding that sweet spot between competitive pricing and maximizing revenue without scaring people off.
Ideally, yes. And the potential for personalized pricing is there too, maybe offering different rates to loyal guests or for longer stays.
That sounds potentially tricky, though.
It can be. The research did mention this ongoing sort of discussion or even tension between the traditional revenue experts and the machine learning folks.
Debating how accurate the predictions really are.
Yeah, and worrying about unintended consequences, like maybe overly aggressive price wars or pricing that just feels unfair to customers.
Right. A pure algorithm might miss the human element, the psychology of booking.
Precisely. That's why the sources emphasize data quality, but also considering the whole customer journey, buying habits, not just the real-time demand signals. It needs that blend of data science and industry know-how.
The art and the science.
You got it. And this AI influence isn't just rooms, it's also in food and beverage, predicting demand for restaurant bookings, optimizing online orders, personalizing offers there too.
It all feeds back into that overall guest experience. Okay, so looking ahead towards 2030, what are the big predictions? What's the research saying?
Well, one projection is pretty striking. AI-powered user interfaces, ways we interact with systems, might reach 75% usage in hospitality by 2030.
75%, that's huge. So much more voice control, visual interfaces.
Seems likely. Integrated guest services driven by these AI interfaces, voice, maybe vision to text becoming much more common, aiming for that seamless, efficient experience.
It's still with human backup, right?
Yeah, the consensus remains that AI enhances, it doesn't totally replace human facilitation, that human touch is still seen as critical.
Good to hear. So AI handles the routine, the transactional, freeing up people for genuine connection.
That's the general idea. We can also expect more automation, especially around bookings, e-commerce, real-time online interactions, speed and efficiency there.
And all the data generated. AI will make even more sense of it.
Definitely. Smarter data analytics, digging deeper into what consumers actually want, driving more informed decisions.
And leading to even more advanced personalization through machine learning.
That's the prediction. Hyper-personalization becoming more the norm.
And the Internet of Things, IoT, plays a role too.
Big time. Think connected devices, sensors. Wearables could give seamless access to hotel services, help track efficiency.
Creating this whole connected ecosystem around the guest. The research also suggests early adopters of AI really stand to benefit.
Seems clear, yeah. Gaining a competitive edge. However,
There's always a however.
there often is. The sources also raise the possibility that if AI really takes off like this, we might see a decrease in both the number and perhaps the skill level of some human jobs in the industry.
Job displacement. That's a significant point to consider for the workforce.
It really is. Which brings us neatly to the challenges and ethical considerations, because it's not all smooth sailing.
Right. What are the main hurdles?
Well, first off, the cost. Implementing and maintaining sophisticated AI systems isn't cheap. That's a big barrier, especially for smaller players.
And you need the right people, skilled staff, to actually manage these systems.
Exactly. There's a skills gap potential. Plus, the research points to maybe a lack of full understanding or trust in AI within the industry itself.
Employees worried about jobs, maybe leaders unsure about the ROI.
Both could be factors. And then there's the big one, the ethics, particularly around using all that personal data for algorithmic personalization.
Privacy, consent, how the data is used.
All crucial questions. There's fear about potential misuse of personal data, and also the job displacement concern we just mentioned, robots. Chatbots replacing people.
Though AI might create new jobs too.
Potentially, yes,
Okay.
but likely requiring different skills. So upskilling, reskilling the workforce becomes really important.
And regulations need to keep up, right?
Absolutely. Regulatory frameworks for highly automated environments are needed, and fundamentally there needs to be open conversation about AI ethics.
Focusing on data security, privacy, avoiding unethical data harvesting.
Being transparent about data use, getting proper consent, these aren't just nice-to-haves, they're essential for building trust.
Which leads directly into data privacy and security concerns. How do hotels ensure responsible data use?
That's the critical question, especially with the constant threat of hackers looking for vulnerabilities.
Because these AI systems, they handle so much sensitive guest data.
Exactly. Names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, payment info, maybe even passport details. A breach is a massive threat.
To customer confidence, to the hotel's reputation, even its survival.
For sure. The research really stresses fundamental privacy rights. Explicit consent, knowing the purpose of data collection, transparency, keeping data accurate, secure storage, lawful practices.
It's about building a culture of trust that goes beyond just ticking legal boxes like GDPR.
Absolutely. The sheer amount of data AI needs is itself an ethical dilemma and a security challenge.
And the AI systems themselves could be targets for increasingly complex cyber attacks.
Right. So you need robust security protocols alongside careful thought about data sharing, transparency, consent, encryption, and how you securely dispose of data when it's no longer needed. It's a huge responsibility.
Okay. So wrapping this up then, it's clear AI is poised for some massive transformations in hospitality by 2030.
Definitely. We're talking potentially much better guest experiences, big gains in operational efficiency, smarter revenue management.
But, and it's a big but, embracing AI means carefully navigating those ethical tightropes and really prioritizing data privacy and security.
You can't just chase the tech. You have to do it responsibly, build and maintain guest trust.
Exactly. Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener.
Considering this huge potential of AI, but also the very real risks and responsibilities, especially around data, how does the human element in hospitality evolve? How do we make sure that personal touch, that core of what makes hospitality special, isn't lost as we chase efficiency and personalization with these incredibly smart machines?
Yeah, how do we ensure humans thrive alongside AI? Something to think about, perhaps reflecting on your own experiences and expectations as a traveler as
Yeah.
these technologies become more and more part of our world.